What a lovely and sunny day. And oh my God, is it windy. This is unbelievable. You know, when I stepped outside, I thought, oh, maybe a slight breeze. The second I got beyond my apartment, I realized, no, this wind is real strong. It's at least 20 miles an hour. I think the weather forecast said 7 because they are lying liars that lie out their lying mouths. This wind is at least 20. Some pretty hardcore gusts. I was thinking of flying here, but it's way too windy. Ooh. As I was making my way to my next destination, I found this spot that was totally available. It's like a T-shaped series of alleyways that I always thought would be an amazing straightaway. I've always wanted to fly here, but there's always been some people around somewhere. It is so dead right now. I gotta get in, fly this real quick, and then get out before somebody else shows up. There was a lady and her dog here earlier, but fortunately she cleared out. I gotta be careful. There's still people walking around on the sidewalks on the edges. Like those. So I can't get too close to the sidewalks. But these two alleyways right here, perfectly empty. Another thing I gotta be careful of, that's a power station over there, and I don't want to see some lightning bolt comically jump off one of those things and fry my drone. I'm sure it's fine outside the fence. If it wasn't fine outside the fence, they'd have bigger problems than just my drone. They'd be electrifying pedestrians. Okay, somebody else is showing up, so I guess I probably should stop. Still, I finally got a chance to fly this. Okay, off to Emerson Park to do a little treetop surfing. Alright, since it was a wash to do any acro flying, I thought it might be kind of fun to do some treetop comparisons. Treetop surfing comparisons between the Neo and the Avata 2. So we'll head over to Emerson. I brought along my drone rescue kit in case I need it. And let's see how these do up in the tree branches. Flying around the tree branches, not being stuck in them. Alright, got the park to myself. Seems like everybody's either at work or school, so I don't have to worry about any pedestrians or anything. We'll start out by taking the Neo up. Do a little smooth, nice, calm, relaxed. Very slow. It's very slow. Oh my God, what the hell was that about? Really? That was so weird. I couldn't get it to go down. I pressed down like a bunch, and it just went right into the swing. All right, that bodes well. Perfect. I'm glad to know it's uncontrollable when I'm planning on taking into some tree branches. Like I said, brought my drone rescue kit in case this turns out to be a massive disaster. All right, is it working now? Are we good now? Jiminy Christmas. I guess I gotta blow the dust off of it. I am kind of married to my Avata. When I'm not flying my Avata, I really like to fly the Pico. So the Neo's it's kind of gone down on my list of things to take along. It's a great drone. It has tons of abilities. It's perfect for starters. A great beginner's drone, or a drone for basic stuff, and those aren't the kinds of things I do. On the upside, being a relatively slow, calm, Sunday afternoon kind of driver, it does give you a lot of time to, enjoy the tops of the trees you're exploring, carefully moving through them, which is good because it's not terribly maneuverable. So you're gonna need that slow time in order to figure out your next move. Unlike the Avata that has tons of power, so you can really shift side to side quickly, you need to very carefully, very modestly move the Neo through. Plan your moves. Be aware of its limitations. Yeah, see? And it's not too bad. It's pretty good for this general thing, the hobby of treetop exploration. The hobby of annoying birds. You got to be cautious though. You don't want to dive into like what you think is a clear area and then realize you're surrounded by tiny branches and you have no way out. You definitely want to take your time scooting through those tree branches with the Neo. And you'll have plenty of time because it's going to take a while to get there. All right, I think I can see a path through here. Sometimes it helps when you're approaching a tree to shift side to side so you get a really good idea for the perspective of the branches and where they are in space. See, I saw that area mostly because before I got there, I shifted a little bit side to side and I could understand the internal space between the tree branches. Yeah, nice and smooth. This is a really great way to get your drone stuck in a tree, though. This is like the number one way. Make sure you have a tree rescue kit. It's like a 60 feet of rope attached to like a heavy bean bag that's got some lead weights in it. What you do is you sort of swirl it around like you're I don't know, like a lasso or something. You throw the bean bag way up there, and then you use the rope to jiggle the branch to get the thing to fall out. You definitely want to have one of those with you on hand before you start doing any of this stuff. I think it's pretty cool, though. I mean, whoever gets to see the tops of trees like this, unless you're really good at climbing trees, and I am not. I am a heavy guy, and trees only support so much weight. Be worrying about the Avata or Neo falling out of a tree. I fall out of the tree way worse and make bigger messes when I hit the ground. So this is definitely as close as I'm ever going to get to most of the treetops. Actually, at this level, this is the closest I get to those treetops. All right, had to scratch. You know, nice thing about flying DJI FPV, you can just sort of leave it in the air for a second while you scratch your nose or adjust your goggles or something. You can't do that with regular FPV. If you're not flying it, it's crashing. I guess squeeze our way through a couple more branches here. A nice smooth approach. You got to keep that 3D space in mind to find your way out of the maze. Definitely keep an eye out for those little branches. Those little branches are the ones that are going to get you. It's not the big ones. It's not the piles of leaves. You'll see all that stuff coming. What you won't see coming is the little tiny tree branches that are going to slide their way into props and hold your drone dozens of feet in the air above you. Not much of a slalom. Alright, where am I in physical space? Okay, right over there. See, sometimes you can get the Neo to fly above surfaces and not slow down, but only as long as you pass above the surface for like a second or two. After it sees something under its sensors, a second or two, it'll slow the whole thing down to half speed. Makes it a bit of a pain to go along the ground. Like with the Avata, I can fly 40 miles an hour 1 inch off the surface and it's fine. With the Neo, it's a little too safe for its own good. So, let's move on to something a little more dangerous. Or at the very least, a little more exciting. Really need to get that joystick fixed on my goggles. Alright, here we go. Now we're doing the Avata. Just immediately feel like lead weights have been taken off of me, and now I can actually move at speed. I got to do this one. Before I go treetop exploring, I got to do this one thing. I love flying over here across the little river, just doing this gap. I really got to come over here and fly this whole place, but I haven't found a bridge that's anywhere close. And during the summer, I could just walk across the dry creek, but right now, that's not going to happen. This is as close as I can get. Let's just fly over here, check out the front of it, or the back of it, or I don't know. It's such a weird little apartment complex. Do a little zooming through the creek. I still have the map in my mind of where it's safe to fly there. See if I can sneak under these. Ooh, almost got hit by something on the ground. All right, back to the treetops. Well, I got to remind myself to slow down. You know, when you get this much speed, it's like having a sports car and going to the corner store. You don't want to go there at, the speed limit. You kind of want to floor it a little. But it's fine. As long as you ease back on the sticks, the Avata is very maneuverable. It's more a matter of taming the power in my mind than taming the power in the drone. Boy, those trees with the leaves are gone. It's dangerous looking. All their branches stick straight up like they're designed to be stuck in the ducts of the Avata. More than Neo. They're like little tridents just poking straight up. All right, it's all looking good. Of course, these aren't the interesting branches. I got to get back to the big leafy trees. See, look how much of a straighter line I can hold there. I knew it. The Neo was drifting slightly in the wind, and that's why I had to wobble my way through there last time. Yeah, you can see the wind moving around all the branches and stuff. But the Avata, it's like the wind doesn't even exist. It just holds itself so nice and steady. Yeah, let's see if we can find a way into trouble and get ourselves back out of it. Look at this maze. It's fine. I got the power to get out of it. Just need to... Ooh, carefully. There. Perfect. See? When you got that extra power, you got that extra confidence. Of course, I don't want to get overconfident. That might be the biggest Achilles heel with the Avata. If you're used to flying the Neo around, you start flying the Avata, you might get overconfident and wind up wiping out even worse. Bringing it back down for a little zoom. Okay, I have a short attention span. I can admit that. A very short attention span. And I can't resist the urge of flying around this stupid sign. Yeah, it would definitely be the downside of using the Avata for exploring treetops. It's got so much speed, you really don't want to go slow. Using the Neo for a slow, careful treetop exploration makes a lot of sense because it doesn't go that far very quickly. Not the Avata. You really want to open it up? Oh, come on, baby, settle down. I spooked it by coming on, landing so perfectly, I didn't even believe that I could pull that off. Tried to take off again on me. Well, I think that'll about do it for today. I got some other stuff to be doing. But I think tomorrow might be a calmer, less windy day. I believe it's still going to be nice and sunshiny, so I think I'll take the birds up again. Maybe head for the park. Do something different. All right. More in the future.